What is comparative fault? Hi, I'm John Griffith, personal injury lawyer, and if you've been involved in a wreck, sometimes the adjuster that is representing the other side that hit you, they may say, well, we're finding you comparatively at fault or partially at fault, and so therefore we're going to reduce your damages by X amount or X percent. So the first thing you can do to avoid having an adjuster say that is don't give a statement. This is the main reason they're trying to get a statement from you. They want you to say something that will put you partially at fault. They may ask you, could you have slowed down a little bit more before you entered that intersection that our insured pulled out in front of you? Well, I guess I could have. Or you don't know the speed limit, so you guess, like, what's the speed limit there? I think it was 45 miles an hour when it was 35. And they'll say, well, you were speeding. You were doing 45 and a 35. So therefore, we're going to hold you 40 or 50% at fault. And these are things that just may not at all be true, but will hurt your case significantly and will hurt your case forever because they're going to have that recording of you. And this is why you don't need to do that. You need to talk to a good attorney first before you do that. Comparative fault is simply this. If you have a pie chart of all the people that are involved in the wreck, that could be involved in the wreck, who is what percent at fault? If both sides are equally at fault, 50-50, then neither side gets to sue the other, or neither side gets to collect from the other side. But if you're 49% and the other person's 51%, then you get to recover because you're less than 50%, but you get a reduction by the percent you're at fault, or you get 49% less. So just to use round numbers, if your case was worth $100,000 and you're found 49% at fault, you can only recover $51,000. Sometimes you may have more than two people at fault. You may have three people, five cars, for example, involved in collision. And each party has their own separate comparative fault analysis. So for example, if you're on an interstate and you're parked in front and traffic comes to a stop and there's three cars behind you and that last car hits car number two and then it's pushed into car number one and that's pushed into you, you've got, for example, four cars involved in that crash, but really the guy in back is the person who's responsible for that. These other two didn't do anything. Lots of times the adjusters want to put some of the fault on those middle cars when they didn't do anything wrong. So these are the reasons that you need to know what comparative fault is. Some things that you can do to avoid comparative fault if you insist on talking to an adjuster is don't say things such as, oh, this is a dangerous intersection. There's so many wrecks that happen here. The visibility is not good. What you're doing is you're taking fault off of the person who turned left in front of you. You're saying, well, yeah, they shouldn't have turned left in front of me, that I had the right of way, but it's a dangerous intersection, so it's really not their fault either. And so what that does, it gives the defense an argument to say, oh, we're going to blame the state of Tennessee for faulty road design. And that's going to do nothing but put a great delay in your case. So if you've been involved in a wreck, and unless it's really clear fault, you probably are going to do well to talk to a lawyer first. If you have any questions about a recent case that you have, please call me. We'd love to talk to you about it. Thank you.